Hello and welcome to this week's episode of your Power Packed Podlets. My name is Rachel and I'm your host for these mini magical journeys together. These are short podcasts for my heart-led entrepreneurs that are driven by a desire to be in service to others, to live a life of fulfillment and purpose, whilst also creating financial freedom for yourself. These podcasts are short forms of story, of thoughts, of insights into how to go from nothing to building and running a six-figure business. How to go from not understanding how business works to business mastery in a really short period of time. So this week's episode, I'm going to be sharing some powerful insights into how I went in a really short period of time from not having money to put food on my table, not knowing how I was going to be paying rent, to running and owning a six-figure company. And the inspiration for this week's episode came literally from a conversation I was having with my partner just a few minutes ago. We were sat on the sofa and we were discussing what the profit margin had been this year, how much cash had been collected, what contracts had been closed, and what cash we're already be going to collecting next year, even if we don't close more contracts. And as we were having this conversation, it dawned on me, in what a short period of time, how I think about money, how I think about my business, how I look at the projects that I'm building, and the language that I use has completely changed. And I honestly never thought that this could be me. And so I'm sharing this from my heart to yours. Wherever it is, maybe you're already doing really well. Maybe you're just starting out. Maybe you're in a period of doubt and you don't know whether you'll ever make it. My desire is that these stories and these insights make a profound difference for you. So this is going to be a shorter podlet this week, as I'm going to be sharing some thought forms for you to choose for yourself if you don't already own them, if you don't already live them on an unconscious level. So you can begin choosing them for yourself and practicing them and begin to notice the shifts in your life. So I've built and run 4 businesses, and 3 of them have gone really well. One of them was a bit of a disaster. Learned a lot from it. 2 of them, I had a waiting list of clients. I was busy all of the time. I built brand, I'd built a reputation, and I was doing pretty well. This is the first time I've run a 6-figure business. And I'm going to introduce to you what changed. And before I do, an insight that has come through, and you're going to find this super useful to hear, because so many people will avoid failure in business, will avoid failure in life, and this is what gets in the way of success. And there was a period of time that banks would only lend money to large amounts of money to businesses when the person who was borrowing the money had potentially gone to bankruptcy or had a completely failed business and was starting out again and already doing well again. And the reason behind this being is that they know, as lenders of money who are professional in this, that the ones who really make it are the ones who can bounce back from failure. The ones who truly make it are the ones who do not give up when it doesn't work the first time around. When most people would throw the towel in after spending however long this person has spent on building a business has gone to financial ruin, to get back up and find a way. Because it proves a level of resiliency that makes the difference when it comes to success in any arena of our lives. Your willingness to get back up from failure and to not be afraid of it makes a profound difference. So what's the difference between the previous businesses and this one? Up until this business, how I thought about investments was the following. I would look at ways I wanted to grow my business and I would ask myself, can I afford to spend this money right now? Is there an extra surplus of money for me to be spending on a photo shoot, on a website, on branding, on appearing in a magazine, on going onto a podcast, whatever it may be? Do I have the surplus money? I would focus on where my current income was at, and I would make my financial decisions based on that. I would ask myself, unconsciously assuming into the future the same results, does this make sense based on where I'm at? And these sorts of things can appear subtly. We don't realize that is what we are believing unconsciously, believing underneath the surface level. That we are making our decisions and assuming into the future the same results we currently have, whilst on the surface level desiring something differently. So when it comes to not just financial investments, investment of your time, of your focus, of your effort, of your presence, where are you currently investing based on your present day results and assuming the same into the future? Because a big shift that happened for me was, rather than asking, can I afford it? I now ask myself questions based on what is logical, based on where I'm going in the next 12, 24, 36, 48 months. Based on where I see myself this time next year. Based on what I can see as a projection in the next 2-3 years of my life. What does it make logical sense to be investing in right now? What do I want to be learning? What rooms do I want to be spending time in? What types of conversations do I want to be having? Who knows things that I don't know because they are at that point that I'm going to be at in a year's time? Who's already there that I can speak to them about it and learn from them? And here's a really big one. When the money isn't there, it's dropping into the knowing that if something is for me, I will find a way. Deciding and choosing that I am the sort of person that always finds a way. Because our fears and our beliefs can bite us in the butt. We don't realize that they're keeping us stuck in the same patterns, repeating over and over again. Because they're subtly hiding underneath the conscious level thought that we have. I can't afford it right now. I don't have the surplus money. I don't have the time. I'm not ready for that yet. And when we really unravel what's underneath, we realize that the reason that we're not growing at the level we want to be growing is we're assuming into the future the same results we're currently creating. So I invite you to project yourself into a year into the future. Imagine yourself there. Imagine in this place, you're closing 2026 and you've just had the most incredible year in your business, in your life. You have more in savings than you ever had, and you're making on a monthly basis what you used to make in a year. You have a waiting list of clients, you're having the most incredible time, you're loving working with them, your energy is strong, your belief in yourself is strong. And what you do, your belief in that is unshakable. And now ask yourself, looking back on the present day, what is it you chose for yourself today so that moving towards that future self is possible? What are the actions in the now? What are the choices you make? What are the beliefs you choose for yourself? So that that version of your reality is inevitable. Whether it's in 12 months' time, or 6 months' time, or 3 years' time. Is deciding But what you want is inevitable, because you are the sort of person that always finds a way. So, thank you for listening. I hope that this week's podlet has brought you many insights. Maybe you want to listen to it again, maybe a third time as well. If you're like me, you'll listen to it a fourth time. And I look forward to connecting with you once more in next week's episode of your Power Packed Podlets.